Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, Axel Scratch here, and we are back with more videos. This one in particular is my free to Steam for Eternal Senia, or however you pronounce this game's name. Now, Eternal Senia is a different kind of game. It is an ARPG, or I believe it's an action RPG. I need to look what that A means. Most likely action. But what does that tell us? There's something different about this game, that it's not turn-based. You just walk up to an enemy and start whacking it with a stick until it dies. You don't have your character black out in the middle of everything and then suddenly wake up and have better resolution for characters and start turn-based attacking something like, should I whack it with a stick or use magic? Choices. What does this do? Just go up and whack it with a stick. Then they're dead. Unless there's a group of them that start using abilities, which this game has. There's 4 abilities in this game. 2 of them I have unlocked. I have not played the other 2 because I am specifically, for the purpose of this video, only recorded the first 30 or so minutes of the game. You know, my free to Steam kind of thing. But I'm still playing this game because I quite enjoy it. It's something that's different. Because, you know, when you hear the term RPG, you think extensive amount of time that you play this game to, like, even level up or get to the last boss and all that stuff. This one is different. It's, like, here is a description for the game. It's like, this is from the creators of the game saying, I believe that gaming should not be anything complicated or difficult, but a relaxing and pleasurable, should have been pleasurable instead of pleasure, experience. That is what this game is. It's a very pleasurable experience because when you don't die in the game, you get sent back. When you have your HP low enough, it sends you back towards a place that is like a safe spot. If you remember from my East Origins, which I still have to fix that thing, in my East Origin video, you saw that the save spots looked like an angel kind of thing. That's sort of like that for this game as well. This game looks like it was made in RPGMaker as well, which we know a few games from RPGMaker are really good, like Eve, and I remember playing a game called Heartbreak 101. I might show the game on the channel one of these days, since it's not going to be a free to Steam because it's not on Steam, but it is an RPGMaker game. I'm probably going to try to show that on the channel later. But back into the topic of this game. Like I said, this game is named Eternal Senia, or however you spell, not spell, English, how do I speak? Senia, however you pronounce it. This game, it's not huge like other RPG games. This is one of those you play once in a while. It's sort of like when you have that one game on your iPhone or iPod or iPad or whatever, and you just play it whenever you get bored and you just start, and you just want a little bit of fun, and then before you go into something else. Or if you have that, yeah, you're short on time but you want to play a little game, you can play this one. It's sort of like that. And that's what I found really enjoyable about this game. I constantly keep coming back trying to see, hey, I could do this, okay, I did something wrong and I get sent back. So it's very rewarding most of the time, where you're just bored and you're like, okay, I want to play a game, and you just find it enjoyable. Currently this game is with a its rating, user reviews, it says it's overwhelmingly positive, and with over 1,000 reviews for this game. And honestly, once I am finished with the game, I'm going to give my own review, and possibly yeah, I do recommend this for other people if you like RPGs, but you're like, I don't really like turn-based. I'm more games like, for me, Rogue Galaxy, which is my favorite game of all time, where it's not turn-based, but it's still an RPG. That's what I find interesting about this game. Positioning is pretty much everything in this game as well. It's not like Final Fantasy Tactics where you go behind somebody and it does more damage. It's just straight off, like, poke them with a stick. And there's no attack button as well, you just walk up to them and attack them. There is no healing items. You naturally heal if you have a specific item equipped to yourself. But this game... this game. Now, here's what I'm doing, if you're wondering. I am not playing this game while I'm recording my voice right now. This is something I'm thinking about doing for my free to Steam from now on. Not 100% sure. But if you guys prefer me doing a recording afterwards so I could talk about the game, talk about the gameplay alongside where you've seen the gameplay, or do you prefer the old way that I was where I did a voiceover during the game? Please tell me in the comments below. Give a like if you like this better. Say, hey, I prefer the old way than this way. Tell me that. If you prefer this way or the other one, tell me that as well. I might go back and forth sometimes depending on which game. So back into Eternal Senia. What is the story of this game? Well, you're a girl that's been taken care of by a sister or like a nun from a church who she takes you in after she finds you, and she's powerful. She is very powerful in this game as far as CGI cutscenes and RPGMaker can go. So, or this might not even be an RPGMaker, I'm not sure, but I say RPGMaker in a way of saying that it's that kind of style. It's of either gameplay or how it looks with the sprites. So if something wasn't made in RPGMaker, but I do say it looks RPGMaker-esque, you know what I mean. So she's a powerful woman, and she takes you in. But at the beginning of the story is that she goes missing, so you're trying to go find her. And that's pretty much the story. You're trying to find her, and it's the first 30 minutes of the game that I've played. I'm doing this off of the first 30 minutes, okay? So this is all I'm telling you is the first 30 minutes. I have not beaten the game yet. I'm still playing it. I'm still having a good time back and forth whenever I want to play this game. But I still have fun. It's one of those things. If you don't like RPG elements like leveling up, if you don't like RPG where it's like health, mana, leveling up, stuff like that, maybe not. If you're not that keen into anime art style or all that, then you might want to stay away from this game because, it's all about the anime look. This is an indie game, so it's not made by a big development company, and I could say rightfully so, because this game does have its faults. One, since it's more of a laid-back kind of game, it doesn't have that much stuff that is in it. The armor is just upgrading the armor that you currently have to X, Legend, and all that other kind of good bits that are in it, like updating that. Your like fairy armor kind of thing. And your weapon, you only have one weapon that keeps on getting better and better, and that's a claymore. As far as I know, there might be more stuff after a certain part of the game. And yeah, you just keep on updating your stuff. The only thing that you could go farther and farther past is your abilities, which if by now, if you've hopefully I'm at that part of the game, because I am recording this without looking at gameplay of the game, because whenever I try to record my voice with a recording of me playing the game or a recording with something like a video on YouTube, for some reason the recording of my voice gets a little choppy or gets a little messed up. So there's this certain point system that's at the bottom right of the screen that shows up that has like a little crystal kind of thing. You get that from destroying the monsters. Once you destroy monsters, you get a specific amount of those little points. You put those points into your abilities, making them stronger. In the first 30 minutes, I got 2 abilities, which one of them has her going like Sonic Fast towards not towards the opponent, but towards the specific direction, and at a specific length. And any projectile that goes right towards her while she's doing that will be deflected. Currently, I do not know if it will be deflected towards a different opponent, because it just gets knocked away. But if there's I'll try to check to see if it will be deflected and hit another enemy. For right now, all I know is that it will deflect the hit, and you can still do a swipe at your opponent, and I believe it does more damage the higher the ability's level is, because along with you leveling yourself up and you upgrading your armor and all that, your abilities also have a level. It's not, and the level of your abilities is not affected by the level of you. It's a separate thing that you level up each time by a specific amount of those points that I have mentioned before. There's also little like mini dungeons that is in this game that ask you to be a specific, I would say, amount of armor. Like one part of it will say you have to have X, like EX version of all your armor before you can proceed, or have the best ones, or have the second to best ones, whatever, before you can proceed to a certain part. And there's statues that will take you to a specific dungeon that at the end will have a boss. The first boss that I went against through these statues is Medusa. Now Medusa has specific attacks that you're going to see in the video as well that make it a little bit more difficult to fight against her. One of the main abilities she has is obviously petrifying you and turning you into stone. To obviously get away from that while she's activating that ability is to look away from her. Not sure looking left or right will still affect you, because through that whole entire battle I made sure I looked behind. So behind, looking directly away from her will definitely make sure you don't get petrified. I tested to see if you would be petrified, and yes, if you look directly at her, she will stun you for, I don't know, a few seconds, and you can't get out of it by spamming your letters and directional keys. Her 2 other abilities has her summoning monsters that you probably have seen before you fought against her, which is Sorceress Snake Woman. Yeah, pretty much. They just wave a wand and shoot fireballs at you that go a specific range, which in fact you can deflect with your Q, which is your first ability. It goes Q, W, and I believe ER for the other 2. I do not know, because, like I said, I have not played the game enough to get those other 2. But you can use that to deflect. You can also use it to get close to them. When you hit a boss like Medusa, when you hit them with any of your abilities, or just normal walk up and hit them with a stick, you will be knocked back a little bit. Her third ability, or second, depending on which the other 2 she does first, you'll see is a blue kind of circle that will create other smaller blue kinds of circles around you that will shoot water across the entire thing, except for on the far left and far right. You can still walk past it, but towards a little bit inward, towards the middle of where you're walking, you can dodge these water by standing in the middle of each one. It's always going to be the same 3 lanes, so it's pretty easy to go against this boss as long as you don't get petrified. Once you get petrified, you better hope and pray you're in the right place, and make sure you don't. Yeah, just make sure you're in the right place, because she can activate all 3 of her abilities at once. Well, not at once, just in succession, and it really can get really annoying after a while. So, when it comes to bosses, that's the thing. This game is not extensively big. It's not like Final Fantasy kind of bosses where you gotta be... One of you guys use potions, another one use magic. It's like you're by yourself. And you're just smacking them with your sword that you got from a little dungeon thing that you're looking for your sister. Which is not your... Like I said before, it's the sister is the head of the church that's taking care of you, but you still call her your sister. But what this game does that I find interesting about its bosses is it has a pattern that you can learn, and once you learn this pattern, you have a better chance of winning, and over you can actually still fight against that boss. The first boss, Medusa, drops an item that allows you to upgrade your armor and your sword into another rank of it, and then I believe that's the second to last rank for how long I've been playing. Before I stopped, I believe I got up to almost the last one. I'm not 100% sure. That's also what I found is interesting about this game is the leveling up system. It's simple, it's not complex, and it's like cookie clicker. You just come back to the game and just start messing around in the game. So, what do I not like about this game? Well, it's not that I don't like nothing about this game. It just the faults that I have are more nitpicky. And they're not like, I completely dislike this game. Okay, and now we're gonna go into what the nitpicking thing is. Like, what, Axel, you say you don't hate anything about this game, but what are you gonna nitpick about? Well, what I'm gonna be nitpicking about is the grammar. Now, as you probably know, I've told a lot of people that I'm sort of like a grammar Nazi kind of person. Now, some people that are not up to date on what that means, grammar Nazi is like a very extreme person about grammar. If they see something wrong about grammar, they want you. They will go out of their way and tell you, you gotta fix it, like now, kind of thing. I don't do that necessarily, but a lot of people call me that because of how stingy I am on people's grammar. That's why a lot of people ask me to help them learn how to do their like English papers better and all that, so I genuinely try to help. But yeah, there's some grammar issues with this game. Another thing is, I understand that this game is supposed to be a little bit of a calm experience, not like mind-boggling all that, but it does seem like it's pretty laid back in how much stuff is actually in the game that we like about RPGs. We like that vast amount of characters, we like the vast amount of items you can get. Even if they're completely pointless, you just want 99 of everything. Like I'm doing with Rogue Galaxy, I'm actually literally going to all the shops and buying 99 of everything, even though I don't need it anymore. But I just want to do that because it's like a little thing. Like it's one of those completionist kind of things that you do about your games. You want to complete the game 100%, you can get one of everything, but you don't have 99 of everything, so you gotta get 99 of everything, and just it goes like that. You have fun. It's one of those little like things, like little challenges you make for the game, and this game does not really have that, honestly. Can't get 99 of everything, and it just seems like there's not that much stuff. Actually, maybe that's one of the things I don't like about the game, but that's more of a nitpicking for me, because I still had fun, even though I still could not do a lot of stuff in the game, as far as I could tell. There's still more of the game, like I said, than what I'm showing in this video. But I still had pretty much a lot of fun with this game. It could have gone a lot worse. Like, after seeing the overwhelmingly positive, I was like, oh, this must be like the best game ever. But then I looked at the description, and the guys are saying that it's not the best game, but it's very fun. And I'm like, okay, it's not going to be like an extensive RPG. And the description says that it's going to be an ARPG, and it's not going to be turn-based and all that other stuff. So I'm like, okay, it's not turn-based, which is one genre of RPG that I don't have a fond for. The only turn-based RPG that I've beaten so far, because I actually like them, I didn't stop, was Final Fantasy IV and Bravely Default. Final Fantasy IV first, then Bravely Default, because I actually really like that game too. The characters are nice, well fleshed out. The combat turn-based is pretty fun. I like the Bravely and Default forms of it. But that's another thing that this game does not have. It doesn't have giant variety that you can use. One of her abilities that I did unlock during this video, hopefully during this video, I'm pretty sure I did, is her second ability, which is her W, that she jumps forward and throws her sword into the ground. What that does is any monster within a specific radius will get hurt by this ability. It does a lot of damage depending on what your level you put into it. But I found it a very good AoE kind of attack, because her Q only hits one enemy, and I'm not sure if you can deflect multiple abilities during this time, because I'm guessing they didn't use tactics and start going like, okay, we're gonna make a cross right here and I'll shoot our arrows like right at a specific time, and then I run over and I'm like, I'm gonna specifically use my Q. No, it didn't happen that way. But as far as I know, you can, the abilities are going straight right at you, you can deflect it that way. It'll deflect all of them. As far as I know, hopefully if that one time you play this and all of them are attacking you at the same time, it will do that. But you can also support this game. You can support the developers with it as well, and I'm glad you can. I like certain developers that don't have that one thing that says, we made a free-to-play game, but you know, there's certain things you can't unlock without, you know, giving us a little bit of money. Yeah, it doesn't do that. You can support all of the developers of any game, really, by helping them out. What do? I give them praise for what they're doing. This game is pretty fun, and if they make another game like this, if you're the creators of this game and you're watching this video, and I could say if you make any game like this and you want some like review feedback or anything, I'm your man. I'll give it a try. I really like this game. I enjoy playing it, and I'm still playing it, and I will keep playing it until I finally finish it. And even if I finish it, I might actually make a little challenge for myself, like, hey, I'll try to beat the entire game, like with a specific skill set. Not allowed to use my skills, not allowed to upgrade my stuff all the way up until need be, stuff like that. Try doing all that stuff without buying anything, selling anything, but you can't buy and sell stuff in this game anyway. But you know what I mean, there's little challenges. Ooh, excuse me, that hiccup hurt a little. Those little challenges you give to yourself. That's another thing. During battles, it would be a good idea to, even though that this game is supposed to be laid back, maybe giving them a little bit of a challenge here and there. Like if a monster shows up, it might be a little bit stronger than the rest of it, or it may be a little bit weaker, but it's harder to hit, stuff like that. Give it a little bit more variety to the creatures that you fight against. But that's just a little thing that you can add in later. But throughout this, I still have fun. It's no East Origins where the whole thing is you can dodge, you have like a lot of abilities. I still need to update my East Origins. Like, oh my gosh. It just so happens that something bad happened while I was trying to record the second part of it, so I have to redo the first part. And I'm like, no, I don't wanna. Don't make me. I don't wanna. But thank goodness I don't have to redo this one. I had genuinely a lot of fun. How many times do I have to say that I had fun with a game? That's what I want to know. This coming from a person that's played Rogue Galaxy, and that one is unforgiving. That game Oh my gosh, I want to play an updated version of Rogue Galaxy. Level 5, if you ever hear about Rogue Galaxy and everyone's talking about they want a remake of it, if you put it on the PS4 or the Xbox One, I would like immediately find a way to buy those consoles just to get that game. To get a remake, or get Rogue Galaxy 2. We need a Rogue Galaxy 2, okay? That game was amazing. I feel bad that there's certain games that have a cult following afterwards and didn't get the praise they did when they first came out. This game, so much fun. Recommend it to everyone. If you don't have a PS2, buy one right now and get Rogue Galaxy. But if you don't like RPGs, you're not gonna like it. If you like adventure RPG with tactics along with it, and it's challenging, Rogue Galaxy. You, like, seriously, if you play that game and never touch your dodge, not dodge. If you never touch your blocking key, you're gonna hate yourself. Basically, that's what I mean by the tactics along with it. You need to block in Rogue Galaxy. You don't block, you get your butt handed to you, okay? And let me just tell you right now, the AI in Rogue Galaxy is not the smartest, okay? It is definitely not the smartest AI in the game. But it's still fun. And while you are playing Rogue Galaxy, and you're like, I want to play another RPG, but I don't want to do something so extensive, it just makes my mind boil, you can go back to this game, Eternal Senia. Yeah, you can go back to this game. And that's another thing. While you're in the middle of other games, you can go back to this one. It's either going to be really fun or just, But I had a lot of genuine fun with this game. If I had a choice to play, any, like, laid-back game, I'd probably pick this one for right now. It's sort of like something you would find laid back on a, either a console for, like, $2 or something, or, in fact, if anything, if they fix the grammar issues and a little bit of issues, I'd actually pay for this game. I would. Even though it's short, I'd say $2.99, $1.99, giving some compensation for the developers for actually making a little game that, and to support them, possibly to make an even better version, or make an extensively bigger version, like get more development towards a more RPG, like huge version of this game. Or even keep updating this game, making it better and better, adding these new things like a little bit more powerful, or a little bit weaker but harder to hit kind of enemies, more like Rogue Galaxy. I keep on going back to Rogue Galaxy. It's just like the staple for me because that is my favorite game of all time. You go back and forth and you play these certain characters. Like, maybe adding more characters to this game. Possibly, I haven't played past 30 minutes, like I said. So maybe, I don't know if you're able to, but maybe have a certain segment where you're doing the, like, flashback that's in the game. That I remember there's a flashback where you're not controlling it. It's like a, you can't move. But it switches over to, the sister, and you see her doing all this awesome stuff, and I'm wondering maybe an update later you add to the story where you could actually get to play as her for a little bit to see actually how powerful she is. Sort of like what they did with Witcher 3. If you remember in Witcher 3 you get to play as... I don't know that much about the Witcher series. I have not played enough of the games for me to know the extensive lore, but apparently in Witcher 3 there's this one girl that's like the most awesome person in the world. She's very powerful, and during that time you get to play as her, but not that long, but you can see why you don't play as her that much, and because it would just break the game. Like, she breaks the game. She's definitely overpowered as heck. But something like that might I encourage. It might give people like, okay, you constantly tell she's good and she does these 1-hit KOs and all that stuff, but can we try it? Maybe let us see how she works, how her character functions. Maybe show us a little backstory of this character during the time when we're doing that. And yeah, that might help a lot with this game, giving a little more backstory to the characters. I still do not know anything about the sister. I don't know anything. And I've been playing for like 30-something minutes of this game. But that's why I find it interesting. I'm still intrigued. I still find myself wanting to play more of the game so that I could constantly keep going and going and going and going and finish it. It's one of those games, like, even if it wasn't free to play, I'd still be like, oh, I just want to finish this game because I've found it very interesting. Not exactly that complex, and the game wasn't created to be complex. But it was made to be fun, and I can say with certainty that I had a blast with this game. So, from me to you, with ladies and gentlemen of the internet, I do recommend this game for you guys. If you don't like RPGs, but it's like you like RPGs but you don't like turn-based, this is a game that you might like. But if you want a game that's like extensive, like huge, like an MMO kind of thing, but you're not gonna find it here. This is not going to be something like World of Warcraft, huge, but it doesn't have to be. Something doesn't have to be completely complex or difficult to be fun. Like, come on, there's a lot of people playing Cookie Clicker. That thing's addictive. I'm playing a free-to-play game called Clicker Heroes that's on Steam, which I'm going to do possibly a video in the future about later, where you're just literally just clicking on monsters, and after every single five areas, you're fighting against a boss and all that stuff. But that's for a different video. So, what do I give this game? Alright, I'm not gonna give it a specific score or anything like 4 out of 5 and all that stuff. But I say it's a definite recommend for anyone that just, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. You can sit back, relax, play this between games, just to, if you've had a game that's making your mind boil from having to think about like a million miles of strategy and all this stuff, just rest assured that you can sit back with this game and just lounge and just play around and all that stuff. You don't have to play it. It's free. You don't have to buy it. But I definitely recommend, if you want to play a game just between different other games, then give this game a chance. At least give it a chance. And I don't regret it. I'm pretty sure you're not going to regret it. But that will be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I hope you do give this game a chance. Say hi to the developers for me. And they're not going to know who I am anyway, but hopefully one of these days I can finally say, help developers like these one of these days and say, hey, this is a game you guys should play, and give some support to developers if you can't, if there's no way to give them money to support their games. Give them the support, like verbal support, tell them how good they're doing and all that. And this is what I'm doing for this game. Eternal Senia, ladies and gentlemen. I recommend it completely. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!